You ever look at a drop of morning dew clinging to a blade of grass and just see, well, water? Today, we're going to change that, because what you're about to see is an entire universe hiding in plain sight.
And I'm not being poetic here. This isn't some metaphor. We're talking about a literal world, a bustling little ecosystem you could hold on the tip of a needle. So let's do it. Let's zoom in and unveil the micro-universe that exists within one single ordinary dewdrop.
Okay, first up, a world in a dewdrop. You know, from way out here, it seems so simple, but the second you start to magnify it, it becomes this incredible hidden stage.
To the naked eye, yeah, it's just this passive little bead reflecting the sky. It seems perfectly still, perfectly quiet. But that's only because we haven't looked close enough yet. And that's the whole point of our journey today. We're going to cross that visual threshold where what looks like empty space suddenly reveals itself to be absolutely teeming with activity. So let's make that jump. We're leaving our big, clunky world of grass and sun behind and diving, head first, right into the heart of the droplet itself.
Okay, welcome inside. The very first thing you notice is the movement. It's everywhere. It's constant. Little grains, almost like dust motes caught in a sunbeam, are just wandering and drifting through the water. Absolutely nothing in here is truly still. So, what is all this stuff that's moving around? Well, it's a real mix of things. Some of it is just tiny, non-living passengers, a grain of pollen from a nearby flower, a speck of soil kicked up by the wind, or just some regular old airborne dust. But, and this is the really cool part, some of these little moving dots might actually be living cells, turning this quiet drop into a surprisingly busy neighborhood.
So how do we even begin to make sense of all this motion? The key, the real secret, is to watch how things move. That's how we can start to figure out what they are. So, come on, let's meet the inhabitants.
First up, we have the drifters. These are the particles we were just talking about, the pollen, the dust. Their movement is totally passive. They're like little boats on an unseen sea, just being pushed around by tiny invisible currents within the water, nudged by a change in temperature or the pull of surface tension.
But then, you might spot the hunters. Now, if your dewdrop has living microorganisms, their movement is completely different. It's intentional. You'll see these sudden darts, abrupt stops, quick turns. This isn't random drifting, no way. This is life responding to its environment in real time, searching for food, reacting to light, or avoiding a threat.
And finally, keep an eye out for the architects. These aren't single movers, we're talking about patterns. You might see particles clumping together, forming long filaments, or arranging themselves into these cool repeating shapes. This hints at something way more complex, like a whole bacterial colony setting up shop, or even crystals starting to form as conditions inside the droplet change.
So we've got all this incredible activity going on, but what's holding it all together? This tiny world doesn't just operate in a vacuum, it's governed by some really powerful physical forces that make this whole thing possible.
I mean, think about it for a second. Why is a dewdrop a sphere? Why doesn't it just spread out and go flat? The answers are in the fundamental physics that create and sustain this miniature arena for life.
Two forces are absolutely key here. First, there's surface tension. This is like an invisible skin that pulls all the water molecules together, creating that perfect spherical shape and influencing how everything inside moves and gathers. And second, there's light refraction. Because the droplet is curved, it acts like a tiny glass lens, bending and focusing the morning light. It's amazing. The drop isn't just a container, it's an active optical element.
All right, so we've met the inhabitants, and we get the physics, but there's one more crucial element we need to consider: time. This micro-universe isn't static, it's a temporary world with a ticking clock.
As the morning sun starts to warm up that leaf, the droplet's borders begin to shift. The water thins as it evaporates, and this is where things get really dramatic. The world inside literally begins to shrink, crowding all the inhabitants together. Particles and organisms get concentrated, forced to interact and rearrange in the new, denser patterns. It's like a whole city being squeezed into a single block.
So let's pull our view all the way back out again and just reflect on what we've witnessed. The truly extraordinary isn't in some far-off galaxy.
It's right here, resting on a leaf, hanging from a petal, waiting in the morning light. And that's the whole point. A dewdrop is a microcosm. It doesn't just reflect the world, it contains a version of it. It's got its own drifters, hunters, and architects, all governed by universal laws, all living on borrowed time. It's a complete world in miniature.
And the best part is, you can see this for yourself.
You don't need a fancy lab. A simple clip-on macro lens for your phone is all it takes. Go out tomorrow morning, find a dewdrop, and just see what your world is doing when nobody's watching. Let us know what you discover in the comments.
Which leaves us with one final thought. If a single drop of water can hold such a complex and dynamic universe, what other hidden worlds are waiting to be discovered right in front of our eyes, if we only take a moment to look a little closer?